Hey, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be demonstrating the tapping points that we use for any of our tapping-based energy psychology procedures, such as clinical EFT, simplified EFT, intention tapping, matrix reimprinting, all those kinds of procedures where we're looking to tap on the body and neutralize and calm the nervous system, as well as do memory reconsolidation, where we're removing or neutralizing that negative emotional content from memories that we are bringing forward into the present, and they're causing us to behave and act and think and feel in ways that are not favorable for us. So I'm going to start by showing all of these points on a diagram, and then I'll come back, and the best I can, I'll show them on the body. Some of them are easier to show on paper, some of them are easier to show on my body. So we'll do both for you today, and then we'll end the video. So let's go to the diagram. Okay, here's a diagram of the tapping points. As you can see, there are points on the hand, and then there's also points on the rest of the body. So I'm going to start with the hand. Let me just make this a little bigger so it's easier to see. That ought to be good. So on the hand, there are points on all of the fingers, as well as one point on the back of the hand and one point on the side of the hand. The finger points collectively are called the finger points. And when we do finger tapping, these are the points that I'm going to be referring you to. The points on the hand, or the points on the finger, excuse me, are all located on the cuticle, the nail bed. And it's that part of the nail bed, this is a little easier to see here, it's that transition between the vertical part and the horizontal part. So that little dog leg area right there. And we just use finger of the opposite hand to tap right in that general area, right at the corner of the cuticle, on the thumb, on all of the fingers. And the point is on the side of the finger that's closest to the thumb. So it's here and not here on all of the fingers, the point closest to the thumb. The side of the hand point is also known as the karate chop point. And that's because if you were to kind of karate chop down on something, it's that fleshy part of the side of the hand that we're tapping on. And we basically just take the other hand and use the fingers of the other hand to tap on that side of the hand. The last point on the hand that I'm going to show you is called the 9 gamut. Really important point to know. It's super powerful, very deep. And when we're really processing deep, heavy trauma, a lot of times I'll go to the 9 gamut point. And it is found on the back of the hand between the bones that extend from the little finger and the ring finger. So it's right in that valley between those two bones of the hand, and it's about an inch down from the web of the fingers. So this is one I'll definitely show you on my body. It's a little easier to show than it is on a diagram. So those are collectively called the hand points. They consist of the finger points, the side of the hand, and the 9 gamut. All right, let's go down to the body points. Make that a little smaller here. There we go. So the body points include top of the head, right on top of the head, the eyebrow point, which is at the beginning of the eyebrow, the side of the eye, which is side of the eye, right on the bony orbit that surrounds the eye. And I'll show you this one. This is easier to show also. Under the eye, same thing on the bony orbit, just underneath the eye. And then under the nose, or the upper lip, as we sometimes call it, is that space, that little cleft in between your upper lip and your nose. We tap that with a couple fingers. The chin point is not actually on the chin itself, but it's in that cleft between the lower lip and the point of the chin. And then the collarbone point, again, not actually on the collarbone, but if you were to trace your collarbone all the way to the end, there's a knob there. And about an inch below that knob, you'll again drop into a depression, a little soft tissue depression. That's the collarbone point. Much easier to show than it is to do on the diagram. And the same thing with the underarm point. I'm just going to show you that one right on the diagram, right on my body. So that's the points on the diagram. Let's head over to my body and I'll show them live. Okay, so let's do the demonstration on my body itself. The hand points, the cuticle points, I think are pretty obvious from the diagram. They're right there on that corner of the cuticle. And the way we usually tap those is with the fingers of the other hand. So it just looks like something like this, where we're tap, tap, tapping, tap, tap, tapping. You can use 2 fingers, you can use 1 finger, whatever you like. I usually use 1 finger on these. So that's how we tap through the finger points. Side of the hand point, again, I just use basically the fingers of my other hand, and I tap right on the side of the hand like that. The 9 gamut point is on the back of the hand. And again, if you trace down the little finger, there's a bone in your hand. If you trace down the ring finger, there's a bone in your hand. This point is in that valley between those bones. And if you start in the web of the hand and you trace down about an inch, boom, right there, you'll kind of drop into this, there it is, this depression. You just drop into this depression. Once you find it, it's really easy to get it again. But that's called the 9 gamut point. And we just, again, tap in that area with either 1 or 2 fingers, making sure we're getting on that depression. So those are the hand points. Let's move on to the body points. Body points, top of the head, pretty self-explanatory, just right in the center of the top of the head. Eyebrow point is right there at the beginning of the eyebrow, and we just tap on that with a couple of fingers. This bony orbit, if you trace around the eye, there's this, the eye socket is basically this bony orbit, and the side of the eye point is on that bony orbit, right on the side part of the eye. So it's not on the temple, it's right on that bony part. Under the eye, same thing, right on that bony part. Under the nose or the upper lip, whichever one you want to call it, right there in the middle, just tap with a couple of fingers, usually works. The chin point, again, not on the chin, but in that cleft right there, and usually just tap that with a couple of fingers. Collarbone point, this might be the trickiest one to find, but if you trace your collarbone all the way to the middle, there's a knob right there at the end of it. And if you put your finger on that knob and then you trace down about an inch, there you go, you fall right into that depression that's between the collarbone and the rib below it and the sternum or the breastbone to the middle of it. So if you're in the right spot, it feels soft, a little depression. And if you go up from it, you'll feel bone. If you go down from it, you'll feel bone. And if you go to the side of it, you'll feel bone. That's right in the center, that sweet spot right there. Now the underarm point, I'm gonna have to go back a little bit here. It basically is on the underarm. If you put your fingers in like this, or your hand in like this, about 4 fingers deep, right at the base of that is this underarm point. So it's right in the area where like a bra strap would be for a woman, or it's right along the nipple line too, but it's right on the side of the body. So when we tap on that one, usually just take kind of curled fingers like this and tap on it. Be honest, a lot of people don't like that point. I'm not, I don't care whether you tap on it or not. It works anyway. It is a nice point for some people. Some people really like it. Go for it. Some people really don't. That's fine. You can skip it if you like. So those are the points. Hope that was helpful, and I'll see you on the next video.